Asia-Pacific markets are all trading in the red today as investors prepare for signals on U.S. monetary policy. U.S. Federal Reserve's Chair Jerome Powell will be speaking later today at the Jackson Hole Economic Meeting, and his speech is expected to be pivotal for markets. Since he took over the position in 2018, Powell has used his annual addresses at the Jackson Hole retreat to push policy agendas. With inflation retreating and the economy still on solid ground, this speech could witness a marked shift in the direction of monetary policy. Let's get more on this now with Danny Hewson in Huddersfield, UK. She's head of financial analysis at AJ Bell. Thank you for being with us today. Danny, a lot of debate about the level of long-term interest rates at this point. I mean, has it shifted higher or is it still where it was? Is Powell going to support any side, in your opinion, or will he remain neutral at this point?
I think everyone is on tenterhooks at the moment to find out exactly what Jay Powell says at this symposium. What we have seen is expectation of recession in the US fade away. We've seen the labor market being incredibly strong and the economic data, in fact, now suggesting that reinflation is a possibility. So I think for the most part, markets are expecting Jay Powell to have something of a hawkish stance when he takes to the floor to give his speech later today. And of course, if it is more hawkish than markets are expecting, if he does say anything about the potential for another rate increase, or the expectation now that rates will have to stay higher for longer, then that could have a massive impact on markets. What we saw last year following his speech, which was more hawkish than most had anticipated, was the S&P fell over 3% following that speech. So we could see a similar thing today if markets are caught on the hop. And of course, we come off the back of what has been a week fueled with AI optimism following those incredible results from US chip maker Nvidia. So investors really are now just trying to fathom where to position themselves for when this speech takes place.
Right, and gauge right at the same time. How are markets preparing themselves for the event? What are we seeing now in equity markets and in bond markets as well?
Well, what we saw yesterday, of course, was the US market closing down considerably, and that has just continued to filter through to what's going on in Asian markets and in European markets this morning. There will be a little bit of profit taking going on, I think, and obviously a lot of concern about what those interest rates, if they do stay higher for longer, the impact that it could have on those big tech companies, which have really sort of powered things through. And in terms of bond markets, investors really feel like they're caught between a rock and a hard place at the moment. They're waiting for clarity, any sign as what is going to go on in the next few months.
Danny Hewson, thank you very much for this analysis. And now let's get to other top business stories from around the world. MasterCard will end its card partnerships with Binance in Argentina, Brazil, Colombia and Bahrain. The decision comes as the cryptocurrency platform and its CEO, Changpeng Zhao, are being sued by US regulators for operating a web of deception. The Binance cards allow users to make payments in traditional currencies funded by their cryptocurrency holdings. Qatar Sports Investments has acquired the World Padel Tour. The sale is expected to be in the region of the tens of millions of dollars, but no figure has been released yet. The purchase follows a months-long power struggle for control over the growing racket sport between QSI and Spain's DAM SA. Padel is a hybrid between tennis and squash, long popular in Spain and Argentina, and quickly gathering fans from all over the world. And private equity firm Rourke Capital is acquiring sandwich chain Subway in a deal worth up to $9.5 billion. The deal is a conclusion to an auction by several private equity firms to buy Subway starting in February. Rourke owns other restaurant operators and franchises, including rival sandwich chain Jimmy John's, Arby's and Dunkin' Donuts.